So my name is Vicky Dixon and I run Dog Gone Fabulous Grooming Parlour, which is based in Ambleside. I set up the grooming parlour. Originally, the idea was to go mobile in-house grooming because I've got two dogs of my own and I was grooming them, really enjoyed it, set off on my new career path as a groomer, and I ideally wanted a salon of my own, but had to kind of wait a while before the right one came up. So I wanted to create something that was unique to us in our own style. And it'd be nice and relaxed, but I wanted to kind of have like a homely feel. So when the dogs come in, we're not like immediately putting them in cages and what have you. They can walk in on the lead and then they can have a play, and they kind of put them at ease. And that was sort of the ethos that I wanted around my dog grooming business. And within the business, we provide all the different types of dog grooming that you can imagine. So, you know, from a paw trim or a face trim right through to a full groom, which consists of a bath and a dry and a style. But we do things like nails and brush throughs every now and again, or just a wash if a dog's been on the fells and is covered in you know what. So we set up there because there wasn't a groomer there, but also that's where I'm from, and I wanted to kind of get back into the community and become part of my business would be in the community and sort of, you know, put something back really. I affectionately call them the Muppets because I love Cocker Spaniels with all my heart, but they're not the brightest button in the box. And I have Dilly and Charlie, and they're both blue roan Cocker Spaniels, and I am often along the prom or on the beaches down at this end because I live near Bear. So, or I'm down where the Midland Hotel is and those beaches. They give me so much joy, and they're one of the reasons why I decided to become a dog groomer. They make me laugh, they make me mad, but on the whole, they're just great fun to have. Initially did an 8-week taster course because it's a lot of money to become a dog groomer, and not just to pay for the course but also all the equipment that you need, and people kind of don't seem to get that. So I went away for 8 weeks. Well, I didn't go away. I went on the course for 8 weeks and loved it, and so decided that I would take the next step into the course, which is a level 3 City and Guilds diploma course, and I had to do it over 25 days, which I did in conjunction with my full-time job so that I could gain my qualification. Took me about 5 months in total, just because I had to fit it in with everything else that I was doing. And I qualified. I think I started doing it in like November and qualified in the May. So that's maybe a little bit longer. So that's maybe 7 months. But you know, within that qualification, there's a lot of theory, a lot of knowledge. There was exams. There wasn't just exams on the different styles and cuts and grooms, but there's a lot of exams to do with your knowledge as well, and not just of grooming dogs, but health and welfare and well-being. So, you know, there was a lot to do and a lot to learn, but it was just really, really good. You know, we have to develop a relationship with them because trust is a big thing for them, you know, when they're not used to you, and you literally scooping them up, putting them in a bath, drying them with a very noisy blaster, and then making them stand still for up to 2 hours, and then getting very sharp objects and pointing them at them, and they, you know, you've got to make sure that they feel safe and secure. So it's great when you build up that relationship with them. So I've got Madison, who's my goddaughter, and she is 17 very shortly. And over the last 2 years, she's gone from quite a shy and underconfident young person to really come out of a shell while she's been working, and she's now super confident with all the dogs. She has the same kind of outlook on life as me, but also she has the same way with her that I have with the dogs that come in the shop. So they all love her, and she just treats them as if they were her own as well. We have Becky, who's work placement, and she's come from Kendal College, but unfortunately at the moment she's not with us because of all the COVID stuff. But she again is of the same kind of type of person, and loves animals, and treats them all as if they're hers as well. And we show them a lot of love, but a lot of respect. And I'm really pleased that the three of us have kind of gelled together really well, because I wanted them to feel like they were coming into an environment that they already kind of know, because at home they've got treats, they've got places that they can sit and relax if they want to. And also, most dog owners have always got treats on hand, and they're a great bribing tool. So, in the cages as well, normally, apart from at the moment, they've got like nice things to lie on that are comfy, and so just to make them feel relaxed really and at ease. We provide a free puppy visit where they come for maybe half an hour, and they just get to play, but in that playtime they get put on the table, they get stroked, they get brushed a little bit. We sometimes pop them in the bath just so they're standing in it, and just get to know them a little bit, so the next time that they come in they already kind of are familiar with the shop, but also with us, and they feel safe and secure already because of that. So when we then introduce the water to the bath and things like that, then some of them get a little bit anxious, but because they've already been in once, it kind of is a bit reassuring for them. I don't really know. I think maybe my relationships with my clients, because I have super relationships with everybody. I don't think I can even think that I have upset anybody, or that so nobody has ever commented that they haven't had a good service. But I think I've worked hard to build relationships with people, especially when you're leaving your loved one with us. They need to know that everything's going to be fine. So I think that's probably what I'm proudest of. I don't know. I think it would generally be that they know that their dogs are safe and secure, and that I'm really not sure. I can't even think of any feedback off the top of my head now. But it's just usually really, really positive, and recommending that people come because of what we do and how we treat the dogs, I would say. A lot of the dogs that we get in are of the place that we live, for especially in and around the lakes as well. They're very, very active, and they get dirt in their coat. They roll in stuff, and you don't want anything getting into their skin, for a start. But also, you need to maintain your dog's coat to make sure that it is a healthy coat, because if you don't do anything with it for months and months and months, then it gets matted, it gets dirty, and you don't know what's under that dirt. So for the overall health of the dog, it's really important that you keep up with a regular grooming regime. A lot of my customers now have got into the routine of rebooking their next appointment as they leave, and we would generally need 2 to 3 weeks notice now. No, is the answer to that one. We have had huge Bernese Mountain Dogs in, down to tiny teacup Yorkies. So there isn't any breed that I wouldn't have a go at grooming, even if I've not groomed something before. Then as long as I know what it is, I do my research before it comes in, and then that way I make sure that I know that whatever breed it is, that I've know exactly what I've got to do with it. Only a highly aggressive dog I probably wouldn't groom. One that's very, very naughty, because I don't get a lot of those dogs, and there is specialist groomers out there that if you do have a very aggressive dog, and it's usually because it's nervous, then it's better to take it to somebody that kind of handles that type of dog on a regular basis. On a normal, regular basis, if anything can be called normal now, then yes, we are taking new clients on. And now that Madison is getting more confident, she's taking on some clients of her own. So yeah, we will be able to fit people in. If you're showing your dog, then you're definitely showing it to breed standard, which is a kennel club breed standard. So it depends what type of breed it would be, really. And I would take direction from the owners, because they know what they want and or what they don't want you to do. So for example, I had a lady asked me to hand strip a cocker spaniel that was going to be shown, and I'd not done it before, and I knew somebody else that had. So I said at that particular time, it might be better, if you're showing it, to go to this other person. But I have groomed a couple of dogs that were going down to Crufts, but they were sort of just you didn't really need to do a lot with them. You just needed to get their coat fluffed up. But so if you're showing your dog, you would do it to a breed standard. If you're having a pet groom, for example, then there's more room to that. So you can do lots of different quirky bits and pieces, and you don't have to stick to what the kennel club say. We regularly just bath dogs for customers and dry them, and usually to give them a brush out. You can just have a bath and go. We'll call it a wash and go, because of where we're located and the tourists that come up to the area in the second homes. A lot of people are often staying in B&Bs or what have you, and the dog's rolled in something or has been in a bog. We've got a dog that we call Bog Dog, because every time she comes up, she's just absolutely covered. And she comes in regularly before she goes home. So we do a wash and go, we do a wash and blow dry, and then we go right up through to a full groom. But we also do like a bath and a de-shed. So if you've got like a double coated breed, like an Alsatian or something like that, then generally we do the de-shed to get rid of all the dead hair. So we do lots of different things, really. I am old-fashioned, as you know, and I prefer a good old telephone call. That would be my best preference. Although obviously we have other alternatives, so you can book in online, you can message me, you can email me. But my preferred option is just to ring me, because then I can talk to you and talk about your requirements without having to go backwards and forwards on a message. So as you are driving out of Ambleside towards Windermere, shall we say, as you're leaving the village, on the left-hand side, the last wine bar is called the Lily Bar, and that's on the left-hand side. On the right-hand side, there is two outdoor shops. One's called Alt Kit, and the final one is called Adventure Peaks, and that's where the climbing wall is. So I'm between those two in a little archway that leads down into a courtyard. So if you get to the climbing wall and you've gone past it, then you've gone past me. You wouldn't know that we were very close to the main road, because as you come down the archway, you come down into the courtyard. It's a gravelled courtyard. There's some quite large plants in there, and it kind of feels like a little space of calmness. And that's exactly why I loved and I still love the unit that we have, because it just makes everything feel nice and calm and safe.